Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And today we have another 4 portions of news stories about crazy people. And I suggest we start with the first one. I've given you my money, now do your job. This is not a clear-cut I don't work here lady story. However, it's about a man who refused to believe that he was not our customer. I work for one of the largest Scandinavian airlines at the check-in desks. I encounter some of humanity's worst on a daily basis, but this is one in particular that stood out to me. It started when I noticed that my coworker at the desk next to me was being berated by this older man. There were no passengers waiting to be checked in at the time, so I ended up listening in on the conversation. In a strangely calm tone, this man was letting out a steady stream of accusations mixed in with total nonsense. Man, I will be contacting all the newspapers and let them know about how you are scamming people out of their money. This is your responsibility to fix, so you will have to fix it. CW, I'm very sorry. However, due to this ticket, man, I gave you my money, so you were going to fix this. This conversation kept looping pretty much exactly like this over and over without my coworker ever getting enough time to explain the problem to the passenger without being cut off. I quietly asked CW if he needs me to call for a supervisor, but to my surprise, he responded that everything was going great with a grin on his face. With me butting into the conversation, it finally created enough room for my CW to finally explain to the passenger what the problem was. CW, sir, you are traveling with R Air, established Irish low-budget airline. We work for S Air. What do you want us to do? Without hesitation, the older man continued to tell CW off. Man, it is S Air that got my money, so it's your people who are going to fix my ticket. CW, there's nothing we can do with this ticket. It's for a different airline that we have no affiliation with. If you want our help, you'll have to visit our ticket office. He points in the direction of the ticket office. Man, I have already given you my money. Why would I give you even more? At this point, it's been over 20 minutes of this, and both me and CW are starting to get fed up by this man's antics, and I walk around the counter to stand next to the man. I gesture towards the ticket office, and as politely yet forcefully as I possibly could, I shut down the conversation by telling him that there is nothing we can do for him at the check-in counter, and that he'll have to go to the ticket office for help. He grumpily started walking towards the office while continuously telling us how bad at our jobs we are. Thought that was the end of it. Nope. About an hour passes, and now I've switched over to helping people out with these self-check-in machines. I'm having a conversation with my supervisor about nothing of any importance when suddenly the man returns. He immediately makes a beeline to my supervisor and starts his rambling again, with the only addition from the previous ramble being him telling her how he had apparently managed to talk to the boss, he made air quotes as he said this, about something. He started to become unintelligible at this point, but he pretty much regurgitated the conversation we had earlier. My supervisor immediately realizes what kind of situation it was and pretty much ended up ignoring him, helping another passenger who was an actual customer of ours, leaving him to continue complaining to the only other worker there. Me. Man. This is nothing personal towards you, but... And the previous beratements continue on a loop again with another addition that Airline should not be allowed to sell tickets through mobile apps and that he's going to contact politicians about it to change the rules, and he's going to speak to the president of S Air so that the president of S Air can talk to the president of R Air so that he, the president of R Air, had to speak to his employees about how to treat their customers. Again, everyone he's spoken to up to this point works for S Air. Turns out this man had bought a ticket with R Air through a travel agency without checking which airport the departure was from. The airport I work at does not have any R Air departures or arrivals at all. This man was at the wrong airport, demanding us to check him in at a different airline, refusing to believe us when we told him he's not our customer. In the end, he ended up just leaving. The funny thing is, he was only going to Copenhagen, which there are many very easy ways to get to. He ended up spending almost 2 hours at the wrong airport telling us to do someone else's job, when if he just bought another plane ticket or gotten on a much cheaper train, he would have been well on his way by then. Barney. My name is Barney and I'm an alcoholic. Lisa. Mr. Gumble, this is a Girl Scout meeting. Barney, is it? Or is it that you girls can't admit you have a problem? And our second story. Karen shuts up when I speak up. Way up. Okay, so I've been working as a driver for one of those food delivery apps called Waiter for a while now. And this happened to me just before I got off my shift today. One of the places you can order food from with our app is a Subway inside the local Walmart. It doesn't happen too often, but often enough that people get warned it can happen during orientation. Don't want us driving up and down the street looking for a restaurant that we won't be able to see, I guess. Anyway, I was picking up a sandwich and had to grab the drinks and bags of chips for the order while it was being made. Now, the uniform I was wearing for work is a highlighter green t-shirt with the company logo on it, and blue jeans. The Subway uniform is a dark green polo and black pants, so I see no way for them to be mixed up, as even colorblind people would be able to tell the difference between them. When I've got the chips and drinks and I'm headed for my bag when a woman sidesteps in front of me, making me stop short and almost drop everything. I'm a bigger guy, so sudden stops aren't that easy for me. Okay, finally, I've been waiting half an hour. Give me that. She tried to grab the stuff from me. I pulled back and turned to block her. Me. Hold up, ma'am, this isn't yours. I have to deliver this to someone at their house. Okay, don't lie to me. Subway doesn't deliver. Now give me my food. Me. This isn't your food. Okay. You're a horrible waiter. I'm gonna get you fired. Where's your manager? Me. Ma'am, I'm not a waiter here. I work for K. Quit lying, you little crap. Your uniform says you're a waiter, so give me my damn food. Now, I have had run into this sort of thing a few times since the shirt has the logo and says waiter on it. Some people assume it's a typo and that whatever they're eating has decided to label their waiter for some reason. I've gotten used to explaining it to people, but I was about 5 minutes from getting off the clock and my delivery would be about a 15-minute drive, so I was really wanting to get out of there. So I ended up doing something that I kind of regret since she does have a legit reason to complain about me. I took a deep breath and yelled right in her face, "I don't work here! Move!" She moved, looking like she'd been smacked in the face with a wet fish. I dropped the chips in my bag, grabbed the sandwich and tossed it in too, grabbed the drink, and walked out feeling like a boss. I really hope she doesn't figure out where to call to complain, because I really like this job. There's been some sort of mistake. I'm the brother of the owner. LOL, a post on here reminded me of when I used to work at my Italian friend's cafe. It was a nice 20s-style cafe, red paint, cherub fixtures, white and black detailing, tea leaf readings, faux gold inlays. Me in my stupid 20s working in a place that could have passed for the roaring 20s. Man walks in and makes a beeline for the register. "I'm the brother of the owner," he explains. "Matthew or Mark?" I ask, knowing that the three brothers are named after the first 3 chapters of the Bible. "I work for Luke, so it's obviously not him." "Mark." "Fantastic. Would you like a coffee while you wait?" I ask with foolish enthusiasm. "Skim flat white." "Absolutely. Take a seat here while I make your coffee and get your mother." I watch as he sits uncomfortably. "There's no need for her. She's probably tired." Oh, what a thoughtful son, I thought to myself. He knows his mother's going through chemo and doesn't want to disturb her. She's a lovely woman, but at the same time, I only knew that she had cancer and Alzheimer's. So I make his coffee, bring it, and his mother from the apartment from above the cafe. "Look, Mercia, how lovely it is that your son has come all the way from redacted city 4 hours plane flight away." Poor Mercia and her Alzheimer's. She didn't recognize her own son. They sat and enjoyed their coffee while I retrieved the owner from his consultation with the client. "Your brother's come to visit," I exclaimed with much joy, "all the way from redacted city." "Mark? Mark!" Joy of joys, my overworked boss, who's running his own business and looking after his sick mother, has a surprise family reunion with his brother. Luke gets to the table that his mother and Mark are sitting at. His mother is the first to speak. "Luke, who is this man? I've never seen him in my life." I interject, "Mercia, that's your son. Don't you recognize him?" "I've never seen him before." Luke looks at me. "I've never seen him before either." Mark stands up. "There's been a mistake," he exclaims before bolting for the door. And that, my dear friends, is how I accidentally scared off a scammer. Mercy is fine, by the way, lives in an apartment complex 1 floor below Luke, who's turning 90 and 70 respectively next year. How much for a hotel room? This isn't really my story, just an encounter I overheard recently that blew my mind. I people watch for sport and eavesdrop on conversation, sometimes because I have nothing better to do. Don't judge me, we all have our hobbies. I was recently on vacation in Clearwater Beach, Florida, and was having dinner with my husband at one of the restaurants adjacent to the beach. Now, if you've never visited, the area is basically an island a few miles long consisting of the beach, restaurants, hotels, resorts, and retail shops. So we're at this restaurant on the outdoor patio. It's probably 8 o'clock on a Friday night. We're mostly through our meal when a couple gets seated at the table next to ours. I hear the waiter tell them about appetizers. They place an order after much debate, and he walks away. In between chatting with my husband about how nice our vacation has been, I can overhear the couple continuing to discuss their appetizer choice and their desire to change it. Couple minutes later, the waiter, W, walks past their table and dumb guy, DG, stops him. DG, is it too late to change our appetizer order? I think we want the nachos instead of the wings. W, well, the cooks have already dropped the order, but that's fine. I'll go let them know. The waiter started to walk away. DG, okay, cool. Hey, wait a minute. Do you know where we could get a hotel room around here? We're literally surrounded by hotels. W, with sweeping arm motion, well, we're right next to X, Y, and Z resorts. I'm sure one of them would have a room available. DG, yeah, but those are like really expensive. W, I don't know. They're probably not cheap. DG, yeah, we're looking for something under $100. We just decided at the last minute to come here and stay the night, and we really don't want to spend that much. W, yeah, I'm not sure you're going to find a place for that price. Everything gets pretty busy on the weekend. DG, yeah, but there's got to be something here that isn't like $300 a night. W, well, there's X and Y other hotels if you go a little further down. DG, cool. How much are the rooms there? Are they pretty nice? I didn't get to hear the rest of the conversation because my husband decided it was time to go, completely oblivious to my source of entertainment, but it seemed like the guy had more questions about hotels, their rates, amenities. I felt so bad for the waiter. I could understand asking for a hotel recommendation, but why would you expect the waiter to know about pricing and room availability? He's a waiter, not the island concierge. I'm guessing they also complained about not getting their appetizer in a timely manner too. Well, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.